I was walking along this area in Brooklyn, which was really long warehouse type buildings, and it was on the weekends, so there's no people around. It was very quiet. I was walking to get onto the other side through this area, but as I was walking, again, no one around, no cars around, suddenly a white van pulls up and pulls over and stops in front of me. In this case, what would you do as a single woman walking around in a neighborhood that's a little unfamiliar, a little weird feeling? What would you do in this case? In today's video, I'm going to go into what came up for me in my body and in myself, and then what I did. And also, I will share the difference, the very subtle differences between intuition and instinct. And at the end, stay tuned, I will also go into social instinct and the difference in that to intuition. So thank you for joining me. I'm AmyC with You Finding You. I'm an intuitive and transformational coach, and I help you step and look within and start to connect to that inner knowing in yourself. And currently, if you look in the dialog box below, I have an intuition map that you can snag up. And in this map, the little PDF, it will give you a little quiz you can go through and find out what is your strengths in your intuition, and then as well how to tools that you can use to start to develop more of those intuition knowings and trusting it in yourself. So again, do check that out. It's in the dialog box below. I've traveled quite extensively around the world as a solo female traveler, and one of the things I've always done is listen to the intuition and listen to those gut reactions, especially the ones that come up in the body. When I really feel something, I'm like, listen to this, and I do take immediate action. And in this case, when the van pulled over, I was like, oh, this does not feel good in my body. Like there was something very just like, nope, don't go this way. So I immediately turned around. And in New York, the one thing I always noticed is that if I had people around, I felt okay, but there was no people around. So I was like, no, walk up to the street, which was only a few blocks over to where there was a main street and lots of people around. So I did. I literally turned around, turned the corner, and went up to a few blocks up to where there was many people around. And I ended up not actually going to where I wanted to get to, which was along the river and the Hudson. Was it the Hudson or East River? I was wanting to go enjoy a park that was up there, but it was like, nope, this is not going to happen. And I actually never made it because in that area, it was like to walk through the warehouses and the streets just really did not feel comfortable. There was something about it. And again, being out there alone, walking alone, rather than having people around, was like, nope, this just doesn't feel good. So again, listening to that instinct in myself, that intuition in myself. So in this case, what is the difference then of the instinct and the intuition? And instinct is that primal response. The body is responding with a fight, flight, freeze, and like getting us prepared to be safe, keeping us safe, and getting us prepared if we need to run, if we need to respond to the situation. So it's that initial, hey, there's something here that could be potentially threatening, pay attention. And then when you go just a step beyond that, your intuition then, and in this case with my story, my intuition kicked in and said, something doesn't feel right here. This does not feel good. So it was like the instinct was that initial threat. Okay, get prepared. And the intuition is just an internal knowing inside of you, a voice inside of you that's coming through with, yeah, this doesn't feel good. So you could have intuition as well, that maybe you're just walking down the street and you get this, hey, look this way, and you turn and look, and it could be something happy and peaceful. It doesn't have to be that threat, the instinct that is coming in with it. In this case, they both came in. The instinct and the intuition were both coming in and helping guide me and helping me gain awareness. And our intuition is coming from more than just our thoughts. So you have these energies, these feelings, all these things outside of you that's going on, and possibly past conditioning too, of like, oh, a van pulling over could mean this. So all of these things mixed in, my body reacted with this doesn't feel comfortable, listen to it. And as well with the instinct or with the intuition saying, yeah, don't keep going this way, go to where feels comfortable. As well with the intuition, there was a calmness and a groundedness behind it. So I didn't react out of fear or panic. It just was kind of like, oh, okay, just turn around and walk the other way. Like there wasn't the real threat where I needed to run or flee, but there was this internal knowing inside of me that was like I could have potentially more threat going forward. So it was just that internal voice of like, yeah, go the other way. This doesn't feel good. So again, the instinct is that initial you're under threat potential of like something that doesn't feel good that is possibly a threat. So it kicks in that internal response inside of us as well. Then with the intuition in this case, it was okay, if you go forward, things might actually escalate and get worse. So actually, let's listen to, or I wanted to listen to that voice inside of me that then said, yeah, I'm not going to go any further with this. So I know I use intuition and instinct often interchangeably. They are very subtle differences inside of you. And in this case, they both were kicking in. So is it splitting hairs? Do I really need to know the difference between these? For myself, it is kind of nice to know that that instinct is that initial primal response, and it is responding to something that is going on outside of me. And it is, again, like these energies or these feelings coming towards us, and our body has so much more awareness to these things than our mind actually does. Same with the intuition. The intuition kicking in as well is getting all these responses outside of us and then alerting us or keeping us safe, letting us know. And as you tap into and listen to that inside of you again, more and more of it will come through for you, and more of it you'll be able to interpret for yourself and really become aware, really become more connected to, again, not just your thoughts, but everything else that is going on around you. And recently I was reading about social instinct. So, social instinct is about wanting and having this pull to be belonging and acceptance among others. So, in this case, comparing social instinct with intuition, say you go to an event and an influential person shows up and you start chatting with them about a project you're working on, and they actually want to collaborate with you. But the whole time or in moments, you get this feeling that it's like, this isn't right for me. This does not feel good in me. So your instinct is coming up saying, this does not feel right for me. But then everyone around you is like, oh my gosh, that would be a great opportunity. Look at what you could get out of this. And so you feel your social instinct kicking in of wanting to belong, wanting to conform with what is going on around you. So you have this pull of that social instinct, again, of wanting to fit in and be like, yeah, this, I should say yes to this because it could be a great opportunity in this way and that way, and everyone around me is saying it will be this great opportunity. But inside of you, you're feeling again this feel of like, no, this doesn't feel right. So there, in this case, it's kind of a contradictory of the social instinct is you wanting to belong and you wanting to feel that this could be good. So you question yourself and doubt yourself, but there's an internal knowing inside of you that's saying, no, this actually isn't right for me. This isn't the path that I want to take. So in this case, your intuition is wanting to protect what is true in you and what is aligned for you. And I definitely have known in myself, as I follow more of my truth, as I follow more of what is aligned for me, then I am living more fulfilled, more happy, more abundant in myself. So, is it about being abundant or seen in a certain way among the group, or is it about really feeling this happiness and love and joy in yourself? And you get to choose this. I know for myself that I am following this path that is more aligned in myself and love in myself, and I am actually feeling much more abundance in that than maybe what could come with way more money or with other things. But again, that's the society saying that that is what will bring you happiness. And again, in this case, I know for myself, I have been following what is true in me, and that intuition, that inner voice that is coming up saying, this doesn't feel right, even though it's not what everyone around me says. That social instinct is what everyone else is saying. It's like, okay, which one do you choose? And can you have that strength and confidence within you? So thank you for joining me today. If you are enjoying and getting value out of these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe. And thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.